And
So are you on the bicycle up here with the monkeys?
yeah, I'm right here,
Oh,
in the
my.
middle.
Oh my,
Yeah, and that's before the elephant picture.
I can see these over here.
Yeah. Yeah, come and take a look.
You're absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
Still.
well, it's only, let me see,
Oh,
60,
Oh
64
my
years.
oh, you look like you're having fun with that
Oh,
monkey
yeah.
up there.
We had a wonderful time, and the Tillers were so, so much into taking care of us. And
What an experience.
Now, we got here a few minutes late, so where did the name the Tillers come from?
John Tiller was the businessman from Manchester. He worked on the Cotton Exchange. In 1885, he had these 4 little bells in a show, and he'd have them point one way, and they all had to look exactly the same. And so the idea of, them all moving together, it really thrilled the audiences. And so they were having sellouts for shows, so he gradually got larger and larger, and so there's old pictures of the Tiller family there, and his wife, and I think there was a Lawrence Tiller. But eventually, the sweet people that took over many, many years later was, let's see, Miss Doris and Miss Barbara, and these two were in charge with a man later on, but they were just like your mother,
Wow.
And I tell you, if you had a date with anyone they didn't like, I mean,
They told
you, and there's no nonsense, no stage door Johnnies or anything like that.
Did they like Jack okay?
That was after I left the Tillers.
Jack snuck in.
I broke loose. And this is one of the command performances was at the Palladium, and the other one was at the Coliseum. And Gigli, you know about Gigli, the wonderful Italian tenor,
Yeah.
and Gracie Fields. They were in that show, and Maurice Chevalier.
Does the command performance mean the Queen says, "I want to see the Tiller girls"?
I don't know. But they were at Sunday night at the Palladium for a long time after I left, and something else, I was amazed at how long they went on, it was like...
You didn't make her leave, did you, Jack?
No.
Pardon?
You didn't make her quit, did you?
No.
Actually, I got better roles at the Civic when I came here. Didn't think I'd get to dance and fool around like that anymore. But, and then they gave us special certificates, to make sure it was authentic. And, yeah. Yeah, I had to go through a lot of old pictures. But, there's so many funny things you remember about the different times. And the 2 months in Germany when I met Jack, that was very snowy over there. And I hadn't been overseas before. And we took C-47,
C-47.
47.
And what did you have, what was the new dress that you had, that you never had before?
A new dress?
Blue jeans.
Pardon? Blue jeans. None of us had slacks in those days. We always had to wear, heels and court shoes and gloves, and they objected to you having your coat not buttoned when you left the theater and things like that. It was really something.
Did you already speak about performing for the princess's birthday? Like that little
No,
impromptu?
we did a cabaret at the Dorchester for Princess Margaret's 21st birthday, and so they were dining all around the dance floor, and we were asked to do the can-can, this, da 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 da, and I had to do 4 cartwheels one way and then 4 cartwheels back. Well, that was kind of a close call because I almost wound up on top of someone's table. But they had, Noel Card and all the Hermione Gingold and all those wonderful old names in theatre there. But Then another big time was the fog in London in 1952. The fog density, I mean, it was so thick, the only way you could tell where you were was to go to one of the phone booths. I mean, you couldn't literally see a hand in front of you. I don't know, were you around in those
They had the
days?
same fogs in Glasgow.
Did they?
Yes.
I mean, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
And after that, they banned coal, you know, the coal burning, because it was like a yellow smog. And in the theatre, our theatre was open at least one night, and you'd look out and you couldn't really see the orchestra pit. And there's yellow haze over the audience. And so a lot of people, we just camped at the theatre that night because we
Wow.
just couldn't get home. But, so it's a pretty hectic schedule. But my bone density is good. After doing all those gigs.
Wow.
It's funny how you remember that. But, I mean, there's so many great shows going on in London then. You know, the Paint Your Wagon and Guys and Dolls and all of those. So,
Is that where Paint Your Wagon was introduced? Is it
I think
London?
it was. And Sally Ann House, who played the lead in that, and I think her father was in that also. And I love that show. It's got so many great songs in it.
What do you
I
think
had
about Cabaret?
I love Cabaret too,
Yeah, I was blessed. I got to see that on Broadway reprised with Joel Grey.
Oh, Joel Grey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some wonderful dance routines in that too. I know I was saying that I saw Young Frankenstein at the Civic the other day, and the fellow who's playing the lead is funnier than the movie.
No, never. Gene Wilder.
Well, this guy, you think was Gene Wilder. He looks
Uh-huh.
like him. He's got the hair and
The
everything.
wild shark and
Yeah,
yeah.
the voice. The show is long, but it is just amazing to see. It's a little risque, but you know, don't take your daughter. So, does anyone have any more questions? Or
How was the most that you ever earned in a week? Do you remember what you earned?
with the Skylarks, I did better financially, I think.
Oh,
But the length of the London shows, you know, you were getting a steady salary of, it was £8 a week, which a pound is how many dollars? It was probably $3 then.
Then it was 3.
And then I'd get £2 for understudy. And if we did flying ballet on pantomime, where you're harnessed up, you know, to zoom across the stage,
Sandy Duncan, what?
you'd get danger money, which was probably a pound or two. But the stagehands used to sometimes be a little under the influence, and they would have to climb up on a stepladder to pull this
Talk
rope
about
down.
danger.
Yeah, and that would send you across. And sometimes you'd hit the proscenium instead of the space.
It was really,
Yeah.
your pay.
And it was like, woo! Yeah, yeah, we did have some narrow skates, and then there'd be a waterfall on stage in some of the shows, and you could get soaked, you know, if you were standing, or if they set it wrong. So there were all kinds of hazards.
They did take a lot of chances.
They did with our lives. We were insured, and our equity contract, you know, spelled everything out, you know, on what
This is 1890.
So the knee injury, did that occur in a performance or?
Yeah, it did. The gals were holding me up because I just went, I was sinking fast, and I was doing a knee drop in a ballet, and I was doing this, and then I had to fall down this way, and the constant